You're listening to Chicago Stories, a podcast from City Hall featuring the stories of everyday Chicagoans, as told to Mayor Rahm Emanuel.
This is Chicago Stories. Mayor Rahm Emanuel with actually a very good friend of mine, Val Warner from Windy City.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for getting dressed up.
I thought this was a podcast. I did not think there was going to be a camera. Forgive me. This is my attire for my number one job, which is mother.
You're going to dress. That's really because when Amy was like there, like getting, well, your kids are older now. I remember I used to come home and Amy, she goes, you stay with them. I need to take a shower. I haven't had 5 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Yours are, what, 16 and 11 now?
Almost. Very good. You did your homework. Oh, look at you. You go. Zoe will be 16 on August 29th, and Max will be 11 on September 26th.
What are you going to do for Max?
For Max is my easy one. Boys are easier. You know this. Boys are a lot easier.
Boys are easier for their mothers. And daughters are easier for their fathers.
Okay. Well, Max is my easy one. And I don't know. I just asked him if he wanted to go to Sky Zone. He said, again. So this would be the third year that we've been to Sky Zone. So I don't know if that's going to happen. But
it may be a mayoral office visit, don't you think? Put it down on the big chop.
He and his whole class?
I'd take it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Alex. Yeah, I could do it, man.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. Fifth graders? When's the last time you've been around a bunch of fifth graders?
I better check it out with Jazz and Veronica on
exactly.
the front. So let me ask you a question. How does it feel given everybody, Phil Donahue, Oprah, etc., Chicago's famous for the talk show format? I want to just jump in. Here you are. You wanted to be in journalism. And now you're in the big Windy City, which is famous for producing some of the greats. Is that what you want, or is that what you're shooting for?
You know what? I did not imagine
Jerry Springer, Oprah.
I never.
Phil Donahue, Val Warner.
Is he gonna let me talk?
No, this is so cool. I'm like reversing this.
Yes, exactly. So let me tell you this story. I did not or could not have ever predicted Windy City Live in my future. When I went to school at UC San Diego, when I decided my senior year of high school, St. Bernard Catholic High School in Playa del Rey, California, when Pat Harvey, who used to be an anchor here in Chicago, came to visit my school, she told us all about her job, and she was an anchor and a reporter, and she told stories. And by the time she left that day, I was convinced. I went home and told my mother, I'm going to be a reporter. She said, a reporter?
What year
I said,
are
yeah.
you? Senior high school?
I was a senior year of high school, and this was the same year the Rodney King riots. Keep that in, put that in your little notes there. So I went home.
On the map?
Pin that. I went home and told my mother I was going to be a reporter/anchor. She said, okay, that's kind of a tough thing. You sure you want to, maybe get a backup plan? That's a tough industry to break into. I said, there is no backup plan. There's no failure. That's what I'm going to do. She backed off. She said, okay. Went to UC San Diego. By the way, I said put a pin there because the Rodney King riots, my very first unofficial report. I was a senior in high school, big old zit on my nose, sitting at a table.
That was more information than the people
That's
on the podcast.
This is a podcast. They want to know it all. I'm going to give it to them. I was sitting across from her with the little VHS camcorder, and I was pretending to be a reporter.
You were sitting across from who?
My mother. My mother was my photographer. I was the reporter. My whole neighborhood was on fire. Looting. Like literally, the verdict had come down when they pulled Reginald Denny out of his semi.
Right.
3 or 4 blocks from where I lived in South Central. I grew up in the hood, 83rd and Normandy. So the whole city's on fire, and we go out there, I do my report about what's happening in my city, right? So that was my very first report. So I went to school for 4 years. I always thought that I would be an anchor. Like that would be my long term. Right. I'd ride it out in the great city of Chicago, not LA, where I was born and raised.
You wanted to come here.
My family's from Chicago. My family roots are Chicago, so I knew this would be home for me.
I bet you the clothes change from Southern California to Chicago is a little hard for.
That was an adjustment. Yeah. The first time seeing snow at 23 years old, that was tough. But I wouldn't change anything. But when the call came for Windy City Live, I thought they want me to audition for this show. I'm a morning anchor and traffic reporter at WGN. I don't voice my opinion. I don't share my opinion. I just, do my job. No.
That's a shot. Well, what they should do is do off-camera stuff with you because that's unusual for you to say I don't share my opinion.
Yeah, well, again.
You share your opinion whether you're at. No, I'm joking.
You know what? Really?
That's good. I love you for that. You know that.
In a weird way, and people are going to be like, yeah, right. There is a shyness about me. I know that's hard to believe.
Well, you've really overcome it.
But there is, I can be reserved sometimes with my opinion because, when you put it out there, like you got to take the good with the
No.
bad.
You can have an opinion, and everybody else thinks they can have an opinion about your opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
But then sometimes, that can get to you.
It's okay.
So you're kind of open. You're vulnerable.
Are you guys happy with the show? How it's
We're
going?
very happy.
Give me your best guest you ever had.
He goes by the name of Mayor Rahm Emanuel.
No, really. Give me your best guest? That was a good suck up. But who's
You
the
like
next?
that?
Yeah, it worked. So who's second best?
Best guess?
Give me the top 5. So don't say best.
Okay.
Who
stood out to me?
Yeah.
Well, because I was a news junkie, Katie Couric.
Okay.
She's one. Mm-hmm. Because of his very interesting past, Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm. Stop there. I want to ask you 2 questions about those interviews. If you could do them again, because this happens to me all the time. If you could do them again, is there a question you would have asked that you didn't ask and you thought about it when you got off and said, I should have done that. I don't know. I didn't have time. I really wish I had done that. If not those 2, is there anyone that...
You know what? I'm sure that's happened because we always kind of armchair quarterback and go over things. I can't say that that's the case for either one of those 2 because...
All right. Anybody else like that? That you then later on something happened and goes, I knew I that was my instinct. I should have done it. I don't know why I didn't do it. Any like that?
Oh, yeah.
Because, people don't... When I get off this... First of all, I don't ever give speeches. I just go off the top what I want to say.
You never write it down?
No, if I have a big budget speech or my inaugural, yes.
Right.
But press conference or whatever, I'll look at the notes before and listen to what anybody else is saying, then write some things down. And then I'll go, how did I forget that?
Yeah. I don't know that I do that because we're pretty prepared for Windy City Live, but I do that when I speak too. And I think that's just natural because you do want to be genuine. You want to speak from the heart.
But there's stuff that grabs you and then you don't have time for that question that you say, I think people would have liked that.
Let me think about that.
Give me the one interview why did we think about having him or her? I mean, my God. Give me on the other end of the spectrum.
Oh, gosh, you're getting me. I tell you, can I answer that in a slightly different way in terms of who may have been a tough interview and you kind of are a little bit intimidated by them and you kind of want to go in? I think that's kind of where you're saying maybe Spike Lee.
Really? Why?
Why?
Yeah.
He can be a little intimidating and strong in his opinions and very short and no pun intended. And, New York and, this is what it is. And it's hard to kind of go up against a person like that who, you feel like maybe can out answer you or out.
Let me go flip on another thing. Given where TV is now on the demand kind of side, Netflix and all this other stuff with different things, how do you keep the TV interview fresh and yet what people are expecting today is totally different in the sense of format, how they ask for it, and how it's served up?
How do you keep them coming back? How do you keep them watching TV versus getting it on their phones?
The old, I don't want to say the old, but you have a format. The kind of daytime interview, where Oprah was, where Stringer is, where Phil Donahue was. That's one format. The technology, everything else is changing. The viewership is changing. So how do you keep it fresh and how do you keep people coming back and staying fresh when you got a format that was almost set up, I don't want to say 50 years ago, but a while ago?
You have to evolve with the times. And I think one of the things that Windy City Live has done well is that we've included social media. We've included the instant feedback. And one of the things that we're doing now that's really popular is the live polling. So we can talk about a subject during host chat. And while we're here on the dais talking, we invite our viewers to weigh in by getting in that conversation and being a part of the conversation. I think everybody wants to know, or Chicagoans want to know, that they're being heard. They want to know that what they're saying, we're getting. And yes, that it counts, that we're reading it and that we're sharing it. And so we always try to keep that in mind. I think that's one of the things out the gate we were really focused on. We knew social media was going to be the thing and people were going to get their news and their information and their stories and their segments from their phones, their smart devices. So we implemented that in early on. And now we just keep finding ways to take it to the next level. At the end of the day, my mother's one of the biggest viewers of Windy City Live. She says the best shows are when you guys include your audience. And so when you include somebody, they're more likely to come back because they go, oh, wait a minute. Val and Ryan are talking to me and about me and what I had to say. So they're in the conversation.
You get the quote unquote traditional journalists look down on you and say, you're not a journalist?
Yes. I'm too soft.
Really?
Yeah.
You snap them back? How do you snap them back? Or you don't?
I don't. You know,
But you think of yourself as a journalist.
At heart, yes. I feel like I can do both. I feel like, you know, I did that. And who knows, I may eventually go back to that. But right now, I'm doing this. I'm in an entertainment world. And so I get that that's my job. But deep, deep down inside, when it comes to the interviews and it comes time to asking those questions, I know I can. But at the same time, this is not the format for that. So I adjust when I need to adjust. But I know there are some who say that.
Beyond your TV and podcast personality, what do people not know about you that they should know? And how much, you know, don't you get frustrated sometimes? Like people know one side of you and they then impose on that's what they know, and they don't know Val.
Yeah, I think the thing about me is I'm pretty much a very open book on Windy City Live.
And shy and reclusive.
But I think they can surmise this, or and if they can't, Val is sensitive at times. Val loves really, really hard, gets hurt really, really hard.
And easy.
Val
has parking ticket problems.
Has what?
Parking ticket problems.
Yes, and speeding problems. That everybody goes through something. Everybody has something. And it looks like I have this fabulous life. And I do. And I'm grateful for it. But you don't know my story. You don't know how I got there. You don't know necessarily how.
It didn't come easy.
It did not come easy. And I worked hard. I went to the small workers. I worked in Roswell, New Mexico, and Market 180, and then went to 129, then 64 in Chicago. I didn't just get to Chicago. I paid my dues. I did all of that. But the one thing that I'm starting, I think, to talk about more as of late is, I went through a really bad divorce on air. And there were maybe 2 or 3 people at the station who had a clue as to what was going on. And one was the makeup artist. And I've never told this, so you're getting some good. The makeup artist who would have to patch me up in the morning because she knew I had come in crying all night and arguing. She
Eyes
said,
were red.
Oh, the whole 9 yards. Looked a hot mess. And she said, you got to do something. Like, you cannot keep this up. But yet, all the viewers saw was, good morning, it's 5:29 a.m. Here's our weather and traffic for the day. And they saw that. But they didn't know the load that I was carrying and still having to get up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with a 10-month-old and a 5-year-old and every day going home thinking, what am I going to get into now? Or
bracing myself
when
you
for
walk
just
through the front door,
figuring stuff out. So all of that stuff, I think they kind of have a clue, but I'm not as tough as I seem. I will say that. I'm getting tougher, but I'm not. I'm a softie.
I cry at a drop of a hat.
You do not.
That's not true. You can ask this. I'm a big emotional.
Is he really, Grace?
No, I am. Man. I can be.
When's your birthday?
I'm a Sag, November 29th. But I'm a. You know who else is a crier?
Amy.
Ari. No, Amy's not.
Oh, Ari is?
Miss Sensitive. Like, will never show any. No, me. Ari and I were both big criers.
Really?
Yeah, we get emotional. You start talking about like my grandfather, my parents, or my kids, cry.
Yeah,
Drop of a hat. I can't even do it. That's why I don't talk about it in public, because if I start, I'm so proud of them, I start crying.
So that's the thing people don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm a noodle.
I kind of know that, though. I kind of got that sense from you. I have.
Oh, really?
That's one thing.
Is that like that Val Sixth Sense kind of thing?
No. I just have a pretty good gut, and I have pretty good instincts.
So let's flip. Enough about you. Let's talk about me some more. I know.
Okay. I knew that's what this was all about.
So did it take a while for you, Ryan, to get along? Or you guys got the rhythm? Did you figure out you had...
you know what?
How long does it take before you guys can kind of do the 1-2? How long did it take?
Gosh, if I think about it,
You're 7 years now, right?
We're 7 years. We're going into our 8th year. I would say...
Kind of similar to me.
Yeah, right.
Right? That's right.
You were the very first guest. You don't even remember that?
Of course I remember.
Okay, of course.
I got a call from big upstairs out in California.
Emily Barr.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got a call that says, we're going to start the show. We want you to be the first guy. I said, hey, I'm a mayor, man. I got stuff to do. No.
You could not say no to Emily Barr.
No, if you want your shoulder attached. You don't want to pay for dislocation.
She's a tough cookie. I would have to say, this is interesting because I think it took us maybe 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Which I think is relatively quick for
So when did you hit your stride? You thought about 6 months to a year. Was there a moment that you guys kind of both would agree? If I had him on here, would he agree that that's what it took?
I think so. He has a better memory than me. So he may know, Val, it was like 2 years. But I really don't think it was that long. Looking at us now, it seems like we have known each other for forever, that we have been big sister, little brother for forever. We are extremely close. Now, I don't remember that out the gate. I liked him. I liked his personality. I thought he was cute as a button. He was opinionated. And I was like, we're going to be good together. But when I look at how we've really grown, it's unbelievable. And the number one thing we always get is our chemistry. The audience says, God, you guys have so much chemistry because when we're on that desk together, sometimes we slip up because we're having a camera on our inside lives because this is how we genuinely are with you. I actually like him. I like being around him. He's a great uncle to my kids. Like, he's the little brother I never had.
How about then why doesn't the fifth grade go to Ryan's house rather than come to my house?
Listen, I have dumped them off with Uncle Rai. You know what? He came to my daughter's graduation in 8th grade, all the way out in the suburbs. And
so let me ask you a question. Do you go teach journalism classes?
I don't.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
I don't know why I asked you. It is my podcast. I don't have to ask you permission to ask my question. So here's the deal. You get turned down to journalism by one person coming to your school. Don't you think you should go back and talk to some kids and give them a little? If I set you up, will you do that at some high schools here in Chicago?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I go back and talk to high schools. I just don't teach classes, but I'm all about going back and talking to them. So I meet once a week with One Summer Chicago kids who are doing our summer jobs across the city. And today I was at Rush Presbyterian and the kids from Crane High School who are all learning healthcare IT. And I always find that some of the greatest time of my life as being mayor is just seeing these kids as they're talking and thinking, exploring, pressing, pushing. And you should, I want you to do that. Would you do that? Oh, yeah. That's easy. Now, you said teach, though. I've never taught a class, but I go all the time to talk.
I think you need to take that forefinger that you were just pointing at me, put it back down. No, you don't. No, we're not. I'm not. Teaching was a broadly described.
Okay, but so to answer your question, yes. I do that. I've done it in every market I've been in. It's my pleasure. It's my duty to give back. Because like you said, somebody told me about her career.
You got a spark.
And her life. And I thought, that's exactly. I love stories. I love people. I love talking to people.
What was your favorite besides Rodney King? Well, give me another story that you reported on that you said that was transformative to you for your career.
Well, see, the Rodney King was not, that's like in the archives somewhere because, nobody actually ever saw that except for a couple of markets.
No, your biggest fan did. Your mom, the lady behind the camera.
Yes, she did. Bless her heart. What was my biggest?
Yeah, give me another story you did that you said that was me at my best.
I think some of my interviews, actually.
Okay.
The interview I thought that I really did not want to do, but someone kind of encouraged me to do it, was Carla Lee.
Really?
And this was after Tyshawn. I've been on the street before where I've had to go up and put the microphone in the family that just realized that they lost someone. And while that is a tough thing to do, I can do it. I've done it. But there was something about the Carla Lee interview that I ended up getting exclusively because of everything that was going on with her in the case, in the press, how she handled her son's death, going to Vegas. I knew I was going to have to look at this mother who I cannot even imagine just lost her 9-year-old son, who is grieving in her way, however she sees the way to grieve, and ask her questions that
pierce the soul.
Yeah, that are tough to ask because I know I have a whole city that's going, we gave to her and she's doing this, that, and the other with the money. So it's like, if I don't ask it, I'm soft. If I do ask it, I'm beating up a mother who just lost her son. So I was in a really tough position. But at the end of the day, she sat across from me right there. And I just looked at her and I thought, this is a mom too. I'm a mom. I'm crazy about my kids. She has a different lifestyle than me. But at the end of the day, what do we have in common?
Yeah. See, it's interesting. So I just told you that one of the great things I enjoy about my job is having those lunch with the kids.
Yeah.
Worst part of the job? Calling a parent. And I just tell them I'm not calling as a mayor. I'm just telling you as a father of 3. I'm thinking of you and I don't want you to be alone and with all the what ifs. That is, I hate those phones. And I go to sit in their living room when it's they feel it's appropriate if they wanted or come here. I just...
It's the worst. Right, and you don't want to do it. I didn't want to do that interview.
My staff gives me the number, and I said, and then they'll come back an hour later and they say, "Have you made?" I said, "I haven't made the call. I just don't. I don't know. I can't think. I don't know if I can get it."
It's hard too because you're like, what do you say? What do you say to someone like that?
I always say, "Look, I know you're alone, but you're not alone because you got a bunch of what ifs going around in your head."
Right.
And I will say this. I am amazed at these mothers who are able to just move forward. I don't know. I would be in a fetal around the axle of a wheel and never be able to move.
I know.
And I'm just...
It's amazing.
Well, without... I don't want to... I'm not going to do this. It was a recent case. Mother lost one of her sons, and they came back with a verdict on the killers. And I stayed in touch with her for the last couple of years. And I'm amazed at her spiritual strength. I'm telling you, I could not do it.
Faith is something else.
Let me ask you a question as a mother too. Don't you find, as you raise the importance of faith?
Oh, if you don't have it, I don't know what else gets you through.
I'm 100% with you on this.
Yeah.
I know we're living in a quote unquote more secular time. I'm telling you, I've become more and more a believer, not just the role that faith can play to anchor you.
Right. And faith, I think sometimes people misconstrue faith in your spirituality with actually going to church every Sunday and doing what, some people feel like churchgoers or believers should do. My faith is stronger than I may not be in church every single Sunday, but that has nothing to do with my belief system and who I trust with everything. You know what I mean? And so,
but don't you think it's important for Zoe and Alex to have that kind of groundedness? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, trust me, as a single mom, I'm trying to protect them in every sense. So if anybody needs faith, it's me, because I got to let them go. I got to cut the cord, but at the same time,
you'll find. I don't know. Now that we're 6 weeks and counting empty nesters. You'll be very proud. That's my attitude, is not to be sad or anything like that. And I say this. So the two girls went to a party the other night, and I said, raised you to make these calls. These are your calls.
Really?
I said,
I don't know.
You're going to wake up and you got to not regret who you are. That's your judgment. I'm not going to do it for you.
Well, then maybe you can even give me advice on this, because Zoe's getting ready to start driving. We are like T-minus 2 months till girlfriend hits the road. And I am very...
You want me to get the police helicopter above
Yes, and an escort, and the whole 9 yards.
Want some blue lights around?
I'm not even... You're laughing, but I'm just like... She said, "Oh, Max, I'll be able to pick you up and take you here." Yeah. I said, "You're not taking my son anywhere in the car with you. And he nervous he want to get in the ride with you." I'm just I gotta cut the... the other day he says, "Mom, I'm going to 7-Eleven," which is literally a block from me. He's 10. He's going on 11. He plays in the neighborhood. He's playing basketball. He comes in. "I need the coins." We put our coins in a little thing. We're going to go get ice cream, whatever we want to save up for. But we have coins in a jar. I'm like, "What are you shaking out, Zoe and I? What are you shaking out our coins for?" "That's for me. That's for the triplets. We're a team." "Well, can I just go to 7-Eleven with the friends?" And I said, "Max, you want to walk to 7-Eleven? He goes, "Yes." So I start going downstairs. I'm walking him outside, right? He stops and he's like, "Mom, please don't embarrass me." And I thought, I got to let him go. I got to have some faith. I got to trust that he's going to walk to that store. He's going to come back and he's going to be like, "Mom, I'm back." He came back with a big gulp.
He did? Did he get one for Mom?
No. Mom doesn't drink pop. It's bad for you.
There. All right. It's bad.
Now I am going to get some ice cream after this.
Well, we're going to go for that kind of, non-fat stuff and all that. I'm gotten strict on the diet. So Dancing with the Stars, huh? I kick you. But dancing.
Listen, you just said Dancing with the Stars. It was Dancing with Chicago celebrities. Now, would I like Dancing with the Stars in my future? Absolutely. But I'm not that big time. I'm Chicago.
What do you do for your workout? The rest of the nation
doesn't. Right now, I'm really into Orange Theory Fitness.
What is
OTF.
That?
What is that?
Yeah, what is that?
Oh my God, you would love it. You love fitness. I go to the one right in the South Loop.
What is it?
Okay, rowing, treadmill, and floor work. And each instructor has a different routine. So
and what do you do, 20 minutes each, 15 minutes?
Maybe. Or maybe you do three,
You know,
three,
anybody-
three, three, three.
Anybody ever tell you that forefinger needs to be relaxed a little rather than pointing all the time?
I get it from somebody. I don't know who.
Yeah, well, no, we didn't spend that much time
Oh,
together.
wait. No, it's more like this. Isn't this what you guys do?
No,
you
no,
and
no,
Mr. Clinton?
like
No, wait,
this.
what is it?
Here's like
Oh,
that.
yeah, like that. Sorry.
Ready? Here. This is a big deal.
Yes.
This is a really big deal. I'm
Yes,
glad you're here, Val. It's really great to have you. Val, I love
Is this it?
What's
Are we
that?
done?
Almost, man. You got to do the 5 questions.
Oh, Lord.
You
Okay.
ready?
How am I doing so far?
We'll edit it down to about 3 minutes. I'm joking. Okay, ready?
Let's go.
Oh, you okay? Cubs or Sox?
Socks.
Okay. River or lake?
River.
You just sucking up, aren't you?
No, I promise.
Okay.
I'm not-
okay,
no. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Keep asking.
Sears or Hancock?
Hancock.
Oh, you don't
Yeah,
have
I don't care
passion
either
for
one.
that.
No.
Thick or thin pizza?
Thick.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
I would
deep dish.
I would never, ever.
Pie. Give me the pie.
Really?
All that cheese and sauce and
You must,
sausage.
but knowing you must like. You would like change your diet for like a week out before you go do that. You're not. No, I know you. You're too disciplined. 12-inch, 16-inch softball.
Basketball.
No, you don't get to pick that. No.
Bulls.
No.
Bulls.
Okay, great. 12 or 16-inch softball.
16.
I'll do it for you. 12. You were never going to play 16-inch. You would look at it and go, "What is this?" This is what we thought a snowball was from.
Exactly.
Val Warner, Chicago Stories. I'm so proud. Thanks for making time, man.
Oh, thanks for having me. Thanks for working around my crazy schedule.
It's okay. Tell Max. He goes first to Uncle Ryan.
Yes.
And if Uncle Ryan won't take the 5th grade class, he can figure out Uncle Ron.
Okay.
All right?
Done deal. You said it when he go. I will be like mom of the year, parent of the year of the school if we bring the field trip here.
What was the flip on that? You're going to go back and do some high schools.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's
you
easy.
promise?
Whenever.
All right, we're setting it
I'm
up.
a person of my word. Just let me know. You know
Okay.
that.
All right.
Done deal.
Done deal.
You've been listening to Chicago Stories with Mayor Rahm Emanuel. You can subscribe and leave a review on Apple Podcasts and tweet your guest ideas using hashtag ShyStories. Thanks for listening.